mandem in general, they move like barbers that aren't human still. The last time my barber was ill, yeah, I called him. I was like, "Oh, is our appointment still at 6?" He was like, "Sam, I just finished. I'm just left the hospital." And I was just like, "Oh, so what? 7?"
Putin literally deciding that he was gonna tell the whole world, "Listen, if you want to do this, then we can do this."
You must have watched the Tinder Swindler.
It's not nice to say that the woman or the women that were involved should have done better, but at the same time,
you should have done better. If anyone told me to take out 30 bags, it doesn't matter how much I love you. Does this make sense? Am I capable?
But do you know who I think is weird in this whole thing? Pete and Julia. Why would you involve yourself in such a messy situation? It is impossible for a woman to love you in the same way your mum did. The only type of unconditional love that exists is a parent and a child.
I don't think that's true.
Sam Obaseki.
Come on, brother.
What are you telling me?
I was got to apologise for being late.
You actually do have to apologise.
It's not necessarily my fault, but I told you this year's about accountability.
Do you think Storm Eunice is acceptable for you to be late?
A reason, 100%, bro. I saw trees all over the gaff. I promise you, bro, I did. I saw branches. I saw people getting blown. Fam, it was like.
You saw what?
See, let's not be childish, but no, bro, it was mad. Still, you not see videos of people flying all over the place.
Is written.
Yeah, it's finished still, and apparently it's just getting started. Apparently there might even be a Storm Victoria, a Storm Margaret. Like they're just thinking of different names for these storms.
Eunice took over Drake, rude boy. Turn the 02 into the 01. You get me?
But why is it cool? Why is it called Eunice? Like, who actually says, you know what, this storm that's coming, I'm gonna call it Eunice?
I know, I don't understand. It's like, like in America, where they'll say Hurricane Ian is on its way. Like, what? Fam, what are you talking about? Like,
said Hurricane
No, but you know
Ian.
when you want to strike fear in the hearts of people,
you gotta call it something.
Hurricane Katrina. You get me? You knew what time it was, bro.
Yeah.
Hurricane Ian, my brother. Yeah. It's not the same. It don't hold the same weight.
Eunice was one of my auntie's names, and she was really nice. Yeah. So now it's just like, fam, why are you calling the flipping storm this? But
Storm Eunice, But what are you telling me? Hey, before we even get into this.
Oh yeah.
On the rocks, you're locked in. Myself, Sav, Sam. Before we even start, like the video.
Yes.
Comment, let us know what you're thinking of what we're talking about today, and subscribe if you're feeling the content. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Now we can get into it.
Yes. So, how's your week been?
Do you know what? It's been good still.
Yeah. You're looking fresh, brother. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but that's standard.
See, that's why I don't like complimenting, bro. Because like.
But be real. I'm one of your like drippiest brethren.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, fine.
I'm
a good-looking brother. Number one.
You dress.
I know how to dress.
Sometimes.
Yeah. What do you say?
You dress good sometimes. Sometimes you wear the same things.
But you're going out tonight, and
I'm not going out like that. So it's not a thing.
You thought to wear a hoodie and
it's not a thing like that. So don't even try and step to me. My barber's in Nige. Like imagine, yeah.
Looks like
imagine, yeah. It's not even funny because bro, I was gonna shout my barber wasn't responding to me. Right. I go on Snapchat. The Donny's in Nige. Yeah, the Donny's actually in Nige.
He just didn't tell you.
He just didn't tell me. I understand the reasoning, family reasons, so I can't really get onto him like that. But he hasn't even told me when he's coming back. And the thing is, why it's so funny? Because I try, like, mandem in general, they move like barbers that aren't human still. Like,
it's true. Like, it's like they have to be that your beck and call 100% of the time.
All the time. My barber literally, I remember the last time my barber was ill, yeah, I called him, I was like, "Oh, is our appointment still at 6?" He was like, "Sam, I just finished, I'm just left the hospital." Like my head's, and I was just like, "Oh, so what, 7?"
Yeah, but and I know you as well, you're thinking, do you think I care?
No, the thing is, I cared, but it's like, bro, you confirm it. Like it's deep, to be honest, because they are human. They are humans.
I used to go buck my barber. My barber's my brethren, innit? I used to go buck him, and I used to say, cause it's me, he takes certain liberties, yeah, because he knows that I'm his brethren, innit?
Yeah.
So he'd be like, "Sav, bro, I ain't eating all day. Give me like half hour." It's like, bro, what do you mean? Give you half hour? Like, do you get what I'm saying to you? Come on, bro. But then his gyms are hard, so what can I say?
He hasn't eaten though. Like,
and he hasn't eaten. What can I say, fam? Like, he's actually a human. He's not a machine where he's got a clip on. He just, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Big up barbers, you get me?
Nah,
you might have to cheat on him though.
I
can't lie, you're looking.
I might cheat. It's not a looking thing like that. I'm not gonna take my hat off because it's like my hat's.
We lose views in it, so it's probably not worth.
No, but for real, like I'm calm.
How's your week been?
My week's been good. Valentine's was this week. Had a good time.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. Yeah, it was everything else. Work was calm. Like, what else did I do? I've watched a few things. Have you watched what is it called? Thinking Anna.
Thinking Anna.
Is it Thinking Anna? Or Watching Anna? Or something Anna on Netflix.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not doing it justice, but it's decent.
Yeah.
I've heard mixed reviews. That's why I thought let me jump on. Yeah, it's decent. And yeah, apart from that, nothing else really. Like this is probably one of my highlights of the week. Do you know what I mean?
Doing a pod and that.
Yeah, with
you
you,
just
bro.
love like coming to see me, innit?
Yeah, come on, man. I feel like I haven't seen you in like it's been 2 weeks basically.
Has it?
Yeah, it was okay, like a week and a half. Because we didn't film last week.
Yeah, we didn't. You're right.
And you tried to because it was your birthday, like you was doing up bougie and you weren't trying to shout, man. When I called you,
what are you talking about?
Bro, I called you to like organize what we're gonna do moving forward for the podcast, you know, growth and things like that, and you just didn't respond to me.
You're capping.
No, we had this conversation.
Okay.
So don't lie on the pod now.
No, but okay, wait, hold on. Can I say something here? You were expecting like rapid responses from a man that nearly passed away.
So did I.
Hold on. No.
We were in it together. We were in it together because I don't know why the hell I thought that it was my birthday as well.
Bro, do you know why? Do you know why it's funny? Because when I'm looking back at the stills from the day, you are in every single picture. there's more pictures of you than there is of me, and it was my birthday. Like my other brethren, he was scrolling through it and he's like, "Nah, Sam's in every picture." I was like, "Wait, you're right." You know, the more I was deep in it, even the footage we got back. Every minute, like, man, I'm just seeing your McQueens everywhere. I'm like, oh my days, this guy loves it.
No, it was lit. Though.
It was a vibe still. We haven't
lit.
even shot since then, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Mad.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
but
yeah,
it feels like it was just a blur. Like the next 2 or 3 days after that, I was written off.
Bro, it took me so long to recover. I had that whole week off, and it took me the majority of that week to feel normal again.
Yeah, nah, it was a good vibe though.
Nearly claimed me, fam.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get that wave again.
Nah, not in 2022, bro.
Because that was actually I wasn't in control. You know them ones where because we were doing the shots for no reason. Yeah, we took a few shots. Yeah. Ella, I don't know what she was doing. Thank God I didn't take one of those Ray shots.
Bro.
Because I remember the bottle there and I just went, no. That's it, nah.
But this is why you're not a real brethren. Because there's footage on an actual 4K camera, yeah, of me holding a glass of Ray Nephew. Ella is just pouring the drink into the glass and you're saying, down it. You want me to pass.
No, but we said
you wanted me to pass.
No, but we said you have to get to that edge. We might have.
I was already there.
We were over the edge. But it was a good time. Like
it was a good time still. I would love to be able to remember it, but remembering is for the faint-hearted. You get me?
Yeah, I got to shout out Mish as well. She really made sure that I didn't end up somewhere in Manchester, bro. Because I was out. When I say out, bro, there was people that said bye to me. I saw messages when I woke up. It was like, oh, I hope you're good.
Bro.
I was like, yeah, I'm fine now.
Fam, my sister, my nephew, and Ella Benet saved my life that night, bro. Yeah.
I see videos of you back in water.
Bro, Cyan Anderson, you're my pagan, yeah? Just filming me whilst I'm struggling. I big up everyone that came through though, for real. If you're watching, you got a special place in my heart, differently. Yeah. Good vibes.
That was lit.
Good vibes. But let's talk about what we got to talk about today because we ain't got much time.
Yes, sir.
So, where do you want to start? Because there's a few things that have happened. I don't know if you saw Putin literally
let's start with Putin.
Deciding that he was going to tell the whole world, listen, if you want to do this, then we can do this.
We can do this. To be fair, yeah, if this was a film, I would really respect him. Because he's just on smoke. But because this is real life,
it's
and
scary.
The country that we are in is involved, I'm not on it.
But you know what's crazy as well? Because it was in Russian, it was more intimidating. Yeah, first of all.
Yeah.
But it's the way man looked into the sky and he sighed. He said,
yeah.
How many times am I going to have to tell you lot, yeah?
He even smiled a little bit. He chuckled.
Bro, there was a little grin. He was like, I'm just letting you lot know I have nukes. I know you lot have got them as well, but I've got them. So if we all want to die, then we can do that. That's basically what he said.
Nah, you gotta respect a man that has got that. But that's what I'm saying. I would honestly rather a man like that in
than
charge
Boris?
than Boris.
I knew he was gonna say
No,
that.
because he's at least he owns his cruddiness. Like he's like, I'm just gonna be a bad guy. I'm sure the Russians, you know, well, I see him rolling through the streets and going to certain schools, teaching kids how to play, do karate. I saw a video of him teaching one Don how to flip a grown ass man in one taekwondo lesson, and he was like, "No, you do it like this." Flipped him the next time. Like a man is respected in Russia
Because you know he's the 8th dan in judo. Black
Is
belt.
it?
Yeah. So the way I think about it as well is that every time he goes to these little G6 summits or whatever these little link ups are, yeah, he's looking at the man in the room like, I could kill all of you right now, and none of you could do nothing.
Yeah.
You know he was in the KGB, innit?
What's that?
It's like the Russian Secret Service. It's like, imagine like, not the CIA. Yeah, call it the CIA. Yeah. He was like a KGB agent, special agent, bro.
Mad.
Man is not one to play with.
Yeah. He's on smoke still. Like, just to allow us, really.
Yeah.
Like, allow us, really, because I don't know what. I know it's because Ukraine want to join the NATO. I don't really know too much about it, but
Bro,
they want to join the NATO. They don't want them to join because that weakens his territory, and he's like, I think they bombed Ukraine. I think they did.
It's been very techie. I don't know the ins and outs, but what I do know is that he doesn't have a problem per se with Ukraine joining NATO. It's if they join NATO and then decide they want to try and take back Crimea. Yeah.
Okay.
And weaponize and then basically he says, if you think that it's gonna be a thing where they can come into NATO and then try basically declare war with us, the whole of Europe instantly is in war with us. I'm just letting you lot know. That's basically what he said.
Yeah. You can't not respect a man that just doubles down. He says, if you want smoke, it's smoke.
And he also said, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
I don't want it, he said.
I don't want it.
But I will do that.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine him going like head to head with Boris. Boris would probably start creasing because he's just a joke, man.
Yeah.
He's just a clown. Like, that's what I'm saying. At least they've got a man that is respected in power. But yeah, Putin, please, like, allow us, innit?
Yeah, allow us.
What else is there? There's been, we were talking about Netflix, and I think it's Watching Anna. I think it is Watching Anna or Thinking Anna or something, yeah. But you must have watched the Tinder Swindler.
Taking it in still.
What do you reckon? Well, first of all,
mad story.
Yeah. Before we really go into it, how much blame do you put on the women?
Let me be careful here because male podcast recently.
Oh yeah, it's true. It's true.
Do you know what? I'm gonna say it like this. He is obviously a master manipulator. Obviously a master manipulator. Are the women 100% blameless? No, in my opinion. Because I feel like at a certain point, I believe if it was my sister, for example, a certain amount of common sense would have come into play. But he is obviously very savvy with the way he chooses his victims. Do you know what I'm saying? He probably has a certain thing he looks for when approaching a woman to see whether they're suggestible, gullible, whether they've got that thing to them. Yeah, that vulnerable thing where it's like, okay, they're going to do whatever I say. I'm going to make it out as if it's this, and this. Like, he's obviously a master manipulator. And again, it's not nice to say that the woman or the women that were involved should have done better. But at the same time,
you should have done better. You know why? Yeah. And I'm not saying that because, like you said, he's a master manipulator. Yeah. But the reality is, if we take it step by step from the first, when they first encountered him, yeah. A man says, like, Wagwan, what's good? You're talking on Tinder. Then the first date, he wants to take you on a private jet. Yeah. One of them said that when they told their friends, they were like, that's a bit weird. Like, do you know what I mean?
I can't lie, that is weird.
That is very strange.
You don't do that with somebody that's a stranger. And for me, I'll be real with you, I maybe this is judgmental of me, yeah? But for me, that automatically screams she's falling in love with the lifestyle, innit?
Yeah.
She's not really interested in my man. Oh, wow, private jet. But then again, flip side of the coin, an experience you've never had before, with somebody that is, from what you understand, wealthy and well known, what do you have to fear? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just an experience you've never had. Private jet, swear down. Oh, why not? But I don't know.
No, but it's, you know why it's strange, yeah? Because like, for me, if someone, because he told them from early, like, his dad's a billionaire or whatever, yeah. Bro, why? Like, I'm not saying that there's not billionaires or millionaires on Tinder and all these sites, but how many of them are there on those social media platforms? How realistic is it for a man of that stature to be on a site and saying, okay, first date? And you know why it's even madder? It's like, I saw so many people talking about the conversation because it literally went viral, whatever, yeah. How can, like, you know why it just gets me mad? Because, like, if anyone told me to take out 30 bags, it doesn't matter how much I love you. I'm really gonna look at you and say, does this make sense? Am I capable of doing this? Is my credit good enough to do this? I don't even trust you to that extent. They're saying that they're boyfriends, all of this stuff. You ain't met his family. You don't know his middle name. You ain't been to his actual yard. So how tight was you? You can say, yeah, we were together. But that's what I'm saying. Like, when you're talking about vulnerability and that, they obviously, there was a certain element of them that were naive and they thought, oh, like, we're all in love and this stuff and that stuff. But I'm seeing them having, do you not see their GoFundMe? It's like 650 bags that they're asking back for. That's a lot of money to loan out for.
I'm sorry.
What?
I'm not giving you no money.
I'm not giving you anything.
But for me, the weird part wasn't even necessarily just the fact that on that date, the first time they've met, he's asked to go on a private jet with the person, yeah? It was the fact that the woman agreed to do it knowing that his ex was going to be on the plane with his youth.
I still need to know that side of the story.
But why did you decide that was going to be a good idea? Whether you got conned or not, you're weird. I'm sorry.
It's very interesting. Like, when I watched that, a lot of people have no sympathy. Like,
I've got sympathy, but just not enough to really, like.
Yeah, no.
I'm not giving you a tenner. Like.
Yeah, they were getting, like, slaughtered because.
I feel it for them though. Don't get me.
Yeah, no, 100%, because it's not nice. It's basically fraud, innit? But
what do you mean basically? This is the highest level of fraud, bro. Hush Puppy saluted,
yeah. But this one's even better. Not better. Whoa, I'm not a fraudulent, but this one for him, because he can't get clocked, bro. He's still out here free. Like,
bro,
you know
his Instagram is hilarious.
Bro, I've seen so many different accounts.
Bro, man's Simon Leviev, is that his name?
Yeah, and he's still going by.
Bro,
you're just not who you are, bro. Just come out and say, I'm not this Donny. You know what is like this. But then that's what makes me feel like, is this even real? I don't know what to believe anymore.
It's very weird, man. It's very, very odd. The whole thing's very weird. I'll be real with you. We could sit here all night and talk about that because there's so many intricacies and levels to it.
Where's the baby mum?
Bro.
Is that, no, but why is she in on it? Is, what's his name, really down? What was his name? What was his name? The Donny that he said is down. Peter.
Oh, Peter. Yeah. Bro, I promise you, if I ever get into a stretch again, fam, I'm messaging you. Yo, my enemies are after me. Send me 100 racks. Oh,
he said my enemies are after me, and they said, yeah, I'm gonna get a loan. Amex. And he was still going. Like, when you're hearing the voice notes, I'm just thinking to myself, I'm hearing these voice notes. Surely a reasonable person would say, wait, hold on a sec. Like, there's so many red flags that doesn't make sense in this. But then at the same time, one of the women said that they were a serial Tinder dater. Yeah. She said she's matched over 1,000 people. Over 1,000 people?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, that in itself is mad. Boy, I don't know, man. Each to their own, but me personally, I'm not really sympathizing.
I do
feel it for them, but I'm not sympathizing.
I feel it for them.
That doesn't make sense, but it makes sense.
They're getting a lot of like press now, so they're doing a lot more interviews. I think their GoFundMe is at like 150K, so they're almost there. The other woman, she was selling some of his garms as well. I think that side of it was interesting. And then you know why he's even funnier? Because I feel like he's living his own movie. He is living his own movie. How can he say, I'm staying in hostel, 1 star? He said 1 star. Like, man, actually, like, bro, he didn't even, like, I don't even know if he felt bad for himself.
Bro, I saw a video. I think it was Made You Think put it up.
Yeah.
Of him in like a Bugatti. Was it a Bugatti? I don't know what car it was, bro. Casual. It's almost like it hasn't even affected, man.
I think he spent max a year. And I think that's max a year in bin. He's come out.
He's good, man.
Bro. And this is what
man.
this is another side of it, yeah. They're trying now. He's got an agent in Hollywood, where he's trying to set up a show where he finds love.
That's mad. And if they put that through, which I actually could see it happening,
the world is crazy.
The world is mad.
Because I watch it.
I know you would.
No, but I would want to see.
Endorse.
No, I don't endorse madness like that. But I would have to see like I just want to see if he's ever gonna come clean.
It's man, like, you know the Donny with no neck. What's his name? Ed.
What?
You know that he had no neck, bro. The little you.
Yeah.
What was that show called? It was like It was him finding like 90 Day Fiance.
Oh yeah.
It would be that.
Yeah.
But with Donny.
Yeah.
Safe.
But that's what I'm saying. There was people saying, "Oh, we reward like evilness and like people being mad,
demonic behavior."
Yeah, and that is being rewarded. Like realistically, if the numbers are true, he's conned women of over £10 million, bro, from just like his triangle or whatever the system that he's got. It was mad, bro. Mad. Like imagine even having that. Like I just don't understand how he had the energy. If he had that energy for an actual real life job, he would probably still be a millionaire.
100%. Do you know how smart you? Okay, let me not say smart.
No,
but
it is smart, bro. Because there's levels to it. Like
you do have to be smart to be manipulative,
bro. He actually
to that level.
He had a ring of women that he was sending the same messages to, same videos, pictures, getting this more. Like it was just on the go. It was on the go. Like,
but wait, how do you separate in that situation genius and evil, fam? Because
he's an evil genius. He's an evil genius, bro.
Yeah.
Like even the way they recorded it and the way it was filmed, it felt like a movie. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real. I still feel like there's an element of acting to it because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't, but manipulation doesn't, bro.
Yeah, I guess.
Like a lot of women who have gone through that degree of manipulation couldn't even explain to you why they did what they did. Do you know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're hypnotized, they're brainwashed.
Yeah.
And it's mad. It's scary that humans can even do that to another human. It's mad. Anyway, we've got enough things to talk about today. That one there is mad though.
Yeah, that is crazy. Anyway, another amazing, where should we start, on a high note or on the low side? Because I feel like obviously we have to talk about Kanye in it because he's been the most trending topic for I think a few weeks now. Yeah, for multiple different reasons.
Some good, some bad,
some terrible.
Yeah.
Let's start with the madness. Yeah.
Cool.
We've spoke about it before on the pod about him showing public affection for Kim and trying to get her back. Obviously now that's evolved into something extreme.
But you see, this is where now the lines have got blurred because is it public affection or is it public harassment?
But that's what I'm saying. It's gone. He's taken it to that other level. Because before it was, I want you back. He was at stadiums and he was singing Kim Come Home and that.
Yes.
Then
that is anyway.
Then they move forward. Yeah. They both seem to have like other halves. He has the Julia Fox. She has the Pete Davidson that you said looks a bit mad. And now,
who, by the way, Kanye followed on Instagram the moment he made an Instagram, which is
very funny. then he said the Pete's come out and said that Kim's basically his girlfriend. Yeah. Julia came out and said that they're together, but Kanye basically just ended that by posting something about Kim on Valentine's and stuff like that. But now, well, not even now. It's been like this for I'd say a week and a half, where he's just been on to Kim, on to Pete, onto anyone in their circles that is cool with Pete, saying, Kudi, we're not dogs unless you sort something out and all of this stuff. How do you feel about that situation?
I'm going to start off by saying one thing that I don't think many other people have been saying, yeah? But do you know who I think is weird in this whole thing? Pete and Julia. Why would you involve yourself in such a messy situation? Very, very, very weird.
That's facts.
Why? For what? For me, it can only be for clout. It can only be for that. Yeah, you're not doing it because you actually like the person. You can see their whole fuckery playing out, and you say, I want a bit of that.
Yeah.
I'll have a bit of that limelight. That's weird.
But that's the thing, Julia. I feel like she's more open to it. She even said that there's something hot about being with someone that is interested in someone else or whatever.
Yeah,
she seems a bit strange anyway.
Yeah.
She had a back and forth with Azalea Banks as well about taking drugs. But anyway, Pete, he's all talking like on a serious thing, like, oh yeah, we do this, we do that. And I never really looked at it that way, but it is very true. Like,
so weird, bro.
Why the hell would you want to be in that situation?
If you relate it to like people who aren't celebrities, real life people, normal civilians, would you ever get involved in a situation where a man and his baby mum are warring?
No.
Like, you wouldn't want to get involved in that, let alone when it is so public.
Two of the most famous people in the world.
And not just currently, ever.
Yeah.
Two of the most famous ever people, bro. And you're deciding that I'm going to get involved. Weird.
It's definitely a clout thing.
Definitely a clout thing. But moving on to the Kanye and Kim themselves, yeah, I personally think that it's now crossed the line.
Yeah, 100.
From his perspective.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, there's two sides to every coin, and every story has a flip side to it. So you don't know the ins and outs of everything to do with their relationship. But just going off what we're seeing online, I personally feel like it's become harassment. Yeah, it may have started from a place of wanting to get your woman back. Cool. I'm not going to say too much about that because we've already spoken about that on the pod. But the behavior that he's kept up is indicative of obsession over everything. Yeah, it doesn't give me the notion of love. Yeah, it's obsession for me.
It's like your mind. Like,
it's very possessive and very obsessive.
Yeah.
And for me, it doesn't matter whether you're Kanye West. You can't. I'm not here for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I completely agree. I think that he was treading the line anyway. But I think when she spoke out about it, that's when I started really like feeling for her. Because we've seen, it's interesting because we've seen the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, their lives are reality TV. We see it. We've seen their storylines. We've seen her get married multiple times. We've seen how Kanye got introduced and all of these things. So it's like, it's a part of like, we've seen all of that. So it, when you good, bro?
I'm good, bro. Yeah, my eyes doing the mad. My eyes is going mad.
Like, we've seen all of that stuff. So I feel like when we're seeing this stuff on Instagram, it makes us feel like this is just another segment to their whole like reality TV show.
I know.
But then when she spoke out, it kind of made everyone take a step back and say like, maybe he is going too far. Like maybe she did just want to be by herself. She wanted to be free and from what he had evolved into. Like, because we can say that over the last few years, we've seen different sides of Kanye. People have always questioned, like, is he okay? Does he need to do this? Does he need to do that? I'm no mental health doctor, so I can't say that he needs this. But all I do know is that he does suffer from bipolar. So that could be something. And she's openly spoke out about how he suffers with episodes, doesn't want to take his medication and stuff. He spoke out against her saying that she's capping all of this stuff. So it's very messy. Like, it's very messy. Bro. So if she says, I want to get out of this situation, and this isn't something that I'm trying to be involved in, I think that even if they are still married, they probably still do have love for each other, have kids for each other. Like, there should be a level of pride that he has where he's like, you know what? I'm going to give you your space. And I think there was a moment where he had that when he got with this Julia.
Yeah.
And then something just hit him and he was like, nah, this ain't what I want. Maybe he just weren't feeling it. That Julia, I think they went to London Fashion Week and she just weren't complimenting him the same way Kim does. And then he was just like, yeah, nah, I need her back, but it's too much.
Of course. And I've never really had like real in-depth experience with somebody who's bipolar, but or been in a relationship with anybody with that. But what I can say is that I know people with it, and they do blow very hot and cold on certain things, and at any one given time their opinion can change in a heartbeat over certain things. Their behavior can change very quickly, mood very quickly. It's in the name. But it's tough when there's like so many different narratives flying around. You know, he's saying like, she's not allowing me to see my youth, and oh, like I'm trying to find the address for the party and they're trying to shut me out of the. You get what I'm saying? The things like that.
That side of it, I kind of felt bad for him. Because,
I did, but then what is it that has happened around it?
But that's what I'm saying. It's like, because we don't know everything, and it's like they've made us feel like we are privy to their information, to like everything, because we've seen everything.
100%.
So it's like we build our own narratives off of what we've seen, everything that he's done, everything she's done as well.
Yeah.
So it's like when he's talking about that, it's like, oh, maybe I can kind of believe that, because she does that. Just once she's cold with someone, she just shuts them out. And if he's saying that he don't want his kid on TikTok and stuff like that, then as a not gonna say as a dad, but as like someone that could think of a dad in that situation who's so famous, doesn't want their kid exposed to social media, you're like, oh, maybe that is something that he should be allowed to be overseeing. Do you know what I mean? So it's very interesting.
That's why it's difficult, and it's understandable. Like, I've watched people go through real mad situations with like people. Someone, I'm not gonna say who, but very close to me, was in a situation where, you know, he weren't being allowed to see his kid, yeah, and he wanted to be there as an active father,
yeah,
and the baby mum weren't allowing that to be the case. So when I see that playing out, especially in Kanye's situation, I'm watching it and thinking, boy, I've seen this happen before. It never ends well, because men who want to be in their kids' lives and aren't allowed to do so end up feeling very, very different to what you would normally expect from them. There's behavior that I saw from the person that I'm talking about who I didn't ever expect that from them. Yeah. Because you don't know what it's like to not be able to see your kid until they're taken away from you.
Yeah.
So I sympathized and tried to empathize with him in that situation. But then in the back of my head, I'm still thinking like, okay, but then there's obsessive behavior that I'm seeing around that situation. The Valentine's thing for me was, what you doing, bro? Like, you're doing too much.
Yeah. And I feel like because he's at that, he's so huge, like he feels like he's got that power to just do anything. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, like, we can talk about that situation for forever, but it's like, I think obviously we're going to talk about his documentary that he's put out on Netflix. We'll talk about other things soon, yeah. But I think one side of it that I've seen on social media is the relationship that he had with his mum, innit? And obviously she passed away.
Yeah.
And it was like, you could almost tell that she obviously it's his mum, innit? She was so important to him. But from the documentary, you can see that whenever anything was going wrong, and whenever anything that he was just feeling like he wasn't good enough, or he had a situation where he was getting angry, knock on his mum's door and she's there, and she'll give him that motivation to tell him, you're a giant, like, you look in the mirror, you can't see yourself because you're so big, type of thing. And it's like that type of love, obviously you get that from a mother, which is normal. But then I saw on Made You Think, he said that he hopes that he can find someone as in a partner that has that type of love for him. And I think that is to play a similar role. To play a similar role, which is basically the same thing. But for me, yeah, I think because of what he deals with in terms of the bipolar, how big he is, how he feels, how he gets hot and cold, he needs someone that's close to him, that is able to like rein him in, that is able to speak to him and be that calming energy around him. And I feel like there's been certain periods where Kim has probably been that, but then there's been periods where we've seen him talk about her not being that.
Yeah, but also this is where it becomes difficult, right? Because it is impossible for a woman to love you in the same way your mum did. It's impossible. Because for me, I don't know about you, the way that I view the world, love is not unconditional. That's not. Interesting. So, and the only type of unconditional love that exists is a parent and a child.
I don't think that's true.
See, that's fair enough, and that's where we would disagree on this, because I don't see any scenario in which a woman can love a man in the same way a mother would love their son. I just don't see how that's possible.
But I feel like unconditional love is a choice. I feel like it becomes a choice, because it's not just you can talk about a parent, but then I've got siblings that I've got unconditional love for. I've got friends that have become family that I have unconditional love for, that you can do a lot of things, and I promise you, there's no condition. If you do this, I'm not going to love you anymore. Do you know what I mean?
I disagree.
So
if one of your friends did the mad thing to one of your siblings, the love would disappear.
But that's a different that type of scenario. You got to deal with it when it comes. But I can't say that there's something right now.
Go on.
I can't say that there's something right now that if it was to happen, that would be the case. It's even like scriptural, bro. Like when you get with someone and you want them to be your other half, the love has to be unconditional. You can't be with someone and it be there be conditions that are like we were talking about, like, if you don't have bread at this point, then I can cut out, or if you don't feel this way when I feel this way, then I can cut out. That's not a love. When you're with someone, you marry someone.
100%, but there's still conditions. My love. Okay, let me put it to you like this, yeah. Are you gonna, let's say you get married, yeah? Are you going to stay with your wife no matter what happens?
I would like to think so, yes.
So if your wife is cheating on you multiple times, you're staying with her.
Different.
Wait, stop. I asked you a question. No matter what happens.
No, but those things are different.
It's not really different, bro. That's a scenario that happens every day.
No, but that's
women cheat on men every single day, and men cheat on women every single day in marriage.
I wouldn't say that's like. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's like a condition. That's like.
But it is a condition.
But that's like a. What's the word I'm thinking of? I can't even think of the word, but it's just. It's what were we talking about? What were we talking about the other day? It's a non-negotiable. You can't negotiate. That's not something that is in those vows. Like when I'm saying my vows, sickness and in health, rich or poor. That's the type of unconditional love. The same type of love that you have for your parents, your siblings. It's supposed to be that with your partner. That's all I'm saying. So if they've said now that he should find someone that has that type of love for him, that even if he's having his episodes, one thing I can say is that if he's not taking his medicine and it's going extreme, but even to that extent, you know the person you got with, you know what he was going through before you was with him. So how are you gonna cut out now? Like that don't make sense to me.
Understandable, but also having said that, people often, I've been in this situation, they're really good actors. They will lull you into a false sense of security. You think that they're a certain way, and then eventually you get to see them. By that point, you already love them. It's too late. You're in. But it's not too late to say I'm out. It's not. I've been in situations before where I've like, I really got sucked in. And you know what? Maybe that's my bad. Maybe I ignored red flags. Maybe I was naive to certain situations. But regardless, I'm a human being and I don't have to suffer because somebody else is.
Yeah, I hear you.
See what I'm saying to you?
I just think that this generation, there's just way too many. There's so many red flags that are just being branded around. Like, and it's like, okay, no one's going to be married. No one's going to get with anyone because
that's true. There's a lot of that.
There's so many things that are, if you stub your toe and if I stub my toe and you don't say sorry, that you don't have enough compassion for me. just fam, there's so, bro, when we talk about...
I do hear what you're saying, but I just can't get on the bandwagon of people assuming or even kind of expecting a mother's love from their partner, because I don't think it's attainable.
It's not real, but I wouldn't go that far, because obviously you can understand that there's levels, right? Your mum, she born you, bro.
She created
you, so it's different,
and it's not even the same as a dad.
Yeah, exactly. So it is different, but there is levels to it. I'd say if you're gonna put it, it should be mum, like in terms of the love that you have for let's say Kanye there. The mum, the wife, dad, siblings, whatever. But the wife should be second. The wife should be the person that is like, it's almost there. Like it should be through everything, bro.
100
through everything, and that's just how I feel. So when he said that, I was like, I kind of do understand that, because when you watch the documentary, you can actually tell like he needs that in this modern day. Every episode that he's had, running for president, going to see Trump. Saying that black people aren't, what did he say, they enslave themselves or something like that he needed someone in his ear that he really like, that is really just there for man. Do you know what I mean? And obviously there's levels to it, because with her you can say that she's been in a place where she's always been the center of attention, so might have struggled to have that type of love for someone. So you could say that might have been his fault for going with someone like that. But I think that I haven't seen him have a relationship in the public that has been very fruitful. There's always been something weird about it. And I'm thinking, bro, just go to your roots. Take that for how you want, but go to your roots and find someone that will love you for who you really are, bro. Like, because there's someone that will do that for you.
But what do you mean go to your roots though?
Your roots. Bro.
Say it.
For your roots.
Say what you're saying.
Your roots. Someone that understands you, your struggle, and everything that you've gone through. Not saying that they have to just be there for your at your beck and call, but you have to understand me. You have to understand my struggle. You have to understand that sometimes what I'm going through is something that has to be above anything that you're going through at that moment. Not saying that you have to just cater for me or care for me, because that's not what it should be. But
that's where I take some concern towards those kind of statements of, I feel like he needs to get somebody that will replace that kind of role, play a similar role as his mum, because that places an unnecessary amount of pressure upon women and wives in general.
Pressure is there regardless.
Reason being, let's say he was to have said he needs to find somebody to give him that maternal love, different. People can be maternal and not play a mother role. It's two very different things, innit? Like, I'm sure you've had this before, where you've looked at your girl and thought, right, you're mad maternal, or you're just like, you're proper womanly. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get that. You can only get that love from a woman. Your bros can love you a certain way, but you can only get a certain type of maternal love from a woman, innit?
Yeah.
But I can't fold or bend on ever feeling like women who aren't related to you can love you in the same way your mum can. That's where I will never agree.
It's not gonna get to that point.
I don't even think
it needs to be near about.
I can't say that, bro.
But bro, that's where we have to just agree to disagree, because I genuinely think that if you're gonna be with someone, marry them, make kids, all of that stuff, you're seeing that woman, like, there has to be a level of love that is different to everyone else's. There has to be.
Definitely different to everybody else's, for sure. But I just don't, it's like, okay, put it like this. Me as a man, I wouldn't want for a woman to expect me to love her like her dad. Can't do it. I can't love you the way your dad loves you. Your dad created you. I can't do it. So if you want somebody to love you like your dad, marry your pups.
That is an interesting take. I hear what you're saying, but I feel like you're being too, like, I feel like you think that it's not realistic to be able to love your partner to the extent of, like, you could just do anything. Because I feel like there's certain like dad mum relationships that you could tell, okay, they will do anything for their child, whatever, Well, I feel like when you marry someone or you're with someone, that's the type of love that is supposed to grow. Not saying that's going to be there automatically, but it's supposed to grow to that level where you are one, bro. Like, you become one. You feel like without you, I'm not me. Like, do you know what I mean? That's the type of love that is supposed to be, not just, because I'm not your dad, I'm not gonna love you like this, or because you're not my mum, you shouldn't love me like this. That's not the case. You should make your own love, but it should reach that type of level where it's like almost, if not that the same, but like,
maybe it could, but that's not necessarily what I take an issue towards. If it can, by all means, allow it to grow to that level. That's beautiful. Don't expect it.
Okay.
Because if you expect it, you're gonna get disappointed.
Not necessarily. You might not get disappointed. You might be able to grow and understand each other and compromise at certain things and learn how to love each other to the extent that you want to be loved. That's what everyone's dream is, really.
No, 100%. But sometimes, and more often than not, expectations come with time constraints, right? So if somebody says to you, I want to be loved unconditionally, in their head, they have a certain amount of time that it's going to take for them to be feeling that way. I want to feel loved within this certain time.
Yeah.
What if it takes 20 years for you to be loved unconditionally? Might do, might not. Maybe it never gets there. Maybe it does get there. Maybe it takes ages. Maybe it takes until they're on their deathbed to realize that they was with you through thick and thin and they now love you unconditionally. But because you had an expectation, you put a time limit on it. Problems.
It's interesting. We could go on that.
We could
for time still. The reality, but it's funny because the other side of the doc,
yeah,
he's a genius.
No,
and
no one's ever disputing that.
No, but why I was so inspired by that documentary is the fact that he had so much self-belief in himself, and his mum played a big part in that, and the people around him as well. Like, he had so much self-belief that even though he was a producer and he was good, and people weren't really respecting his rapping thing, he was going into the studios, Rockefeller Studios, just playing his songs, talking, and bro, he played, what song is it? The one that he covered with what's her name? What's her name? Why am I forgetting it now? Why am I forgetting it now? I'm so secure. It's so secure.
I know the tune. I couldn't
cover,
tell you.
But it would, bro. They would. Some of the execs were looking at him like, thanks. And I'm thinking, bro, this is one of the best songs ever made in hip hop history. Like, do you know what I mean? And you're just looking at man, but he didn't stop, bro. He was still saying, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get signed. And he was just grinding. Like, I honestly implore anyone that if you haven't watched it,
I need to watch it.
You need to honestly watch that and get motivation. Like, not get motivation. You'll be inspired anyway, but you'll be also motivated to know that, bro, there's some things that you're doing in life. This is one thing I took. There's some things that you're doing in life. Even if you're so gifted, some people won't actually see that gift until it's too late.
Facts.
The Donny was so gifted and talented. If one of those first record labels actually took a punt, they would be laughing.
Yeah. Bro, there's certain docs that draw things into perspective for you. I think that the Michael Jordan doc was another one of them, where you watch that and you kind of, it can set you up differently for your week. Like, you watch that and you're like, rah, I'm actually going to approach certain things differently. Like, a lot of people I've seen on their stories have said, I look at positive affirmations differently now, and I look at manifesting differently now after having watched the Kanye doc and after seeing the self-belief that he had in himself. You get me?
It's honestly, because it kind of made me sad as well to a certain extent, because it's like, bro, what he's become, I can understand why he's become what he's become, because so many people doubted him at every stage in his career, where he's tried to like level up when he was doing producing, rapping, fashion. There's always been someone that's doubted him to a level where it's like, I need to shit on you now. Like, and now he's at this point.
Don't clip that out, because that's
mad. But he's honestly got to that point where he's like, I'm bigger than all of you. Even Dame Dash, for example, now.
And that's the man that actually kind of mentored man and really.
Yeah, but even at that point in the doc, you can see Dame Dash didn't really like take to him like that. It took to him as a producer, but when he was talking about the rapping stuff, he was like, didn't really like feel, man.
But do you know what's interesting? Certain people like Dame Dash, obviously there's that huge famous interview he did with the Breakfast Club where he said, I will never have a boss. My son will never have a boss. Any man who's a boss is not a real man. That went viral, innit? Every time I think about Dame Dash and I look at the way that he's approached other people, I think, and this is just me guessing and speculating, but when I think of him, I think you feel threatened by a man that might potentially overtake you. So you see with Kanye, the potential has always been there, and he's always been a genius, innit? And anyone else who's a genius recognizes genius, innit? Dame Dash, genius, right? Man really built something from the ground up and created a legacy. So he probably saw Kanye and was like, I see you.
He's an idiot though. Not an idiot, let me not be deep, but he like, realistically, bro, if you see someone like that, you got to nurture that talent. Because the way Kanye was, he was so...
It was raw
and timid. When you see it, bro, when you see him in that doc, bro, he's walking around certain events and he's just walking. Still the way he does now, but he's got that presence now because he's Kanye now. But then he was walking a bit timid, saying cool to Jay-Z. Jay-Z would spud him, but like look at him, but look through him. Like he's not really looking at man. And I was just thinking, I'm seeing all these people around him. Some of the people that they put at the bottom of the thing, where they were like, people that he'd met in certain record labels. I searched a lot of them up to see what they're doing now. And I'm just interested because it's like, you had the opportunity to really stick your neck out on the line for this guy. Like the Donny that actually recorded the whole doc, he gave up his whole career. He gave up his comedy career to film Kanye. and filmed a documentary
That's
because he
mad.
believed in man that much.
Yeah.
Now he's one of the best directors, filmmakers in America. Chicago people rate him or whatever. But like he believed in man, and you can see it. Like there was a point in the doc where Kanye got to a level where he got to a level and he done an interview and they were trying to see where he learned from, whatever. One of the people that he learned from took offense that he didn't mention him, even though he did mention him, but they didn't actually air that bit. So then he went and wrote a flipping diss track about Kanye. Kanye shouted him and he was just like, oh, like what's this about? They bucked each other. And when you see, bro, it looked like Kanye was gonna cry when he saw man. He was like, why would you do that, bro? Like I credited you. And then as soon as that situation happened, he went to do another interview. And then where did he go? His mum's yard. When he went to his mum's yard now, she was telling him the stuff I was saying earlier about you being a giant, you're so gifted. Like he was like, you're like Jordan that always shooting free throws. Like how can you not be so gifted? How can you not get so big? It's just like when you see their relationship, it's just like.
No, I understand it, and this is why when people directly attribute his mental deterioration to the death of his mother, I understand it because when you lose somebody that's that integral to your success mentally, you're always gonna feel like your world is collapsing. Yeah, and especially if you've got bipolar, different ball game, innit? Different ball game. You can never tell somebody how to react to that or how they should behave. Everybody treats and behaves differently towards tragedy and towards heartbreak, because that's not just grief, that's heartbreak. You get what I'm saying to you? Like losing again, like you know how close me and my mum are, can't even imagine losing my mum, you get me? So I can definitely empathize and sympathize with him on that one, which is again why I know this is kind of backtracking, but this is again why I just don't see how it would be possible for a woman to fill the role of mother in his life, because it's impossible.
There is a level to it that you can't reach, especially because it's like she's not there anymore. So you're always gonna be up against that battle of who she was. Like, do you know what I mean? But at the same time,
it's a void that you can't fill. If your mum's not in your life
fully,
you can't fill that void,
fully,
bro.
because they like I don't want to go too deep, but this is just how I feel. Like people pass away, like, do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that it's easy to get over, but the only thing that has helped me in certain situations fill those voids is the love of others.
Yeah.
So it's like if he was in a situation where he had someone there that he didn't feel like was using him, didn't feel like there was like a mutual understanding of what we're getting from this relationship. Not saying that is the case with Kim, because they probably did love each other to that extent, but it's always just felt, a lot of the relationships he's been in has always just felt so showy. You know what I mean? There's like, and I don't know if that's down to him. Like I haven't really seen in a doc him be with anyone else. He probably was, but it's just really interesting. He's a proper interesting character. But the side of his like, not his personal life, whatever, just him as a producer, rapper, gifted and talented.
100%. But I think that is also something that most people, in fact, not even most people, everyone would never dispute. You can't dispute whether or not Kanye is a creative genius. You can't. Yeah, and if you do, you're mad and you just don't appreciate art in it. Because if there's one thing we're not gonna do, is you have to separate a man from what he's doing in real life and kind of put that to one side and focus on his genius of his art and his craft, if you're going to talk about his achievements and his accomplishments in it. Which I know that's like, that can be a controversial thing to say, because a lot of people,
there's levels to it.
Because my point exactly, people will say, so what about R. Kelly? What
there's
about
levels to it? Because
what about
man there can't listen to them anymore.
And do you know what I'm saying? That and fair enough. Like there's certain things you can't separate, in my opinion. Because not only did he do what he did in real life, man put it in his music.
You wrongin'. Like,
do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then it's, come on. Like, we're not even going to get into that, before we could be there a long time. But do you know what? I've not watched it, but I know for a fact that it's a piece of art in itself, that documentary, because so many people have been talking about it.
Well, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I need to watch it.
You need to watch it. Like when you watch it, when you watch it, we'll talk about it again, because I think the next episode's coming out next week. We'll talk about it again.
Do you reckon next episode's coming out next week?
Sometimes it's monthly, bro. But no, we'll talk about it because honestly, like I felt inspired, bro. The imposter syndrome that I've been talking about on this pod, that sometimes it's like, bro, like sometimes you just gotta back yourself, bro.
Just quickly, like we've got a bit more time, by the way. The 8 o'clock cancelled.
Okay.
So, imposter syndrome. What's your thoughts on imposter syndrome, quickly? Because this is something, it's a term that's been bandied around quite a lot, and some people don't really know what it is or they're not familiar with it. From what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's basically entering into something, whether it's in an industry or let's just say industry for now, that you haven't been a part of before.
Yeah.
Maybe a job that you've just started, or yeah. And you feel like you're invading or you're encroaching, right? Now, there's some people who also say, I don't believe in imposter syndrome. I don't think it's a real thing, and it's just a mentality. You know, what's your thoughts on imposter syndrome?
Bro, it's real, bro.
Have you felt it?
Yeah, 100%.
When have you felt it?
I don't stop feeling it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't stop feeling it. I feel it.
In what though?
Like in everything, bro. Even like I said, this is an industry that I stepped into, yeah, with a passion to entertain in it.
Yeah.
So when I stepped into it,
Hasn't fulfilled that yet.
when I stepped into it, obviously it was mainly through sport.
Yeah.
Doing that, I never really. It wasn't a dream of mine to be a sports entertainer. Like, do you know what I mean? But I stepped into it, did certain things, was climbing myself up the ladder, learning a few things, and I'm like, I was gonna say, and I'm black. I am black. We obviously know that, yeah. But it's like with certain things that have come my way, I know for a fact that I've got certain opportunities because of that. But also, I'd like to believe that they also see talent in me as well. Yeah. But at the same time, the more I work my way up the ladder and the more I get opportunities, I always have that in the back of my mind, like, why am I getting this opportunity? Is it because of this or is it because of that? Is it because of this or is it because of that? More time, it could be anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I have to sit myself down and be like, there's been other people in this situation and they've not thrived or done as well as I have, or they don't seem as comfortable, or there's something else, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a constant battle, bro. Even this pod, like sometimes before it goes out, before the video airs, I'm like, will people like it? Or like, is this gonna be entertaining? Like, do they like our dynamic? Do they want more? Are we not doing enough? Like, do you know what I mean? It's constant, and I don't think it ever stops. I think when I've listened to the biggest people in this space, or the people I've had conversations with and interviews that I've seen, it's something that it never ends. Like, but it's how you deal with it and being able to identify it when it comes. Like, I can have, like, I did those transfer talks in January, yeah, bro. In my head I was thinking, nah, why the hell did they tell man to do this? What? Why me? Like, like there's so many man. Like, I can openly say that there's man that are better with the football knowledge, entertainment maybe, you know, but it's more about a balance. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, cool. They've chosen me for being it, so I'm gonna go in that space. I'm gonna just try and be me as much as possible. If they like it, they'll tell me. If they don't, I won't get the up again. But at least I can say I went through it. That's how I'm trying to view life now.
But also, does the reason matter? Does the reason why they chose you actually matter, or does it just matter that you got the opportunity?
That is true.
Like, the way that I look at it, and maybe I'm looking at it backwards, but the reason you walked through the door is irrelevant. The fact that you walked through the door is what's important. You get what I'm saying? It's not irrelevant because there's probably many reasons why you may or may not have been given an opportunity. But at the end of the day, if you get given something and you grasp it by both hands and you do well and you succeed, does it matter why you got put through the door in the first place? Probably not really. It matters what you did with the opportunity when you got it. It's like giving somebody a length of rope to hang themselves or to pull themselves up. Yeah. You can do one or the other. Yeah.
But you know, I think that's a really good analogy. But you know, one of the reasons why I was like, I don't know, I feel like I get in my head as well because of social media as well. You're seeing so many people around you doing similar things, and it's like, you put yourself up against these people for no reason. And that's something I can acknowledge that I do, innit? And it's like, I don't need to do that because I'm on my own journey. Like, do you know what I mean? My journey is completely different to everyone around me. Like, do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I always do it because we're in the same space. There's certain things that I would love to do that I haven't done yet.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, if I haven't done that yet and I'm here, if I've seen their journey, should I be doing that? Or could I do that? Or maybe if I've tried that now and it doesn't bang, I'm not good enough. But more time, maybe that's not what I should have been doing anyway. I should have gone my own way, but I just don't know what that way is yet. And it's like, it's crazy because do you know what I mean?
It's all a learning curve, bro.
Yeah,
it's all a learning curve. But when people say I don't believe in imposter syndrome, yeah.
No, it's definitely real, man.
I do think it is a thing. Because I feel like I've felt it before, but maybe it's a different emotion. Maybe it's an emotion that I haven't been able to even equate. I haven't even been able to take it in and deep where it is. But that's the best way that I could, pinpoint. Oh yeah, I think that's where it is. Okay, bro. I even had it with my own family, bro, because the way my upbringing was set up is just me and my mum. Didn't really know my dad's side of my family that much. You get what I'm saying to you? So when I got to a certain age, like maybe 13, 14, met my cousin Cheryl. Big up Cheryl, man. She kind of brought me around my dad's side of my family. But when I'm going to these family link-ups, everyone's kind of looking at me like, oh, like, who are you kind of thing. But it's love, yeah? It's not like a, who are you? It's they're trying to understand like why I'm there because it's a family link-up. If I'm there, that means I'm family.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like, raw, like, this is kind of mad. Like, everybody around me I'm related to and I don't know any of them. Do you get what I'm saying to you? It was a beautiful experience at the same time because there's nothing more incredible than walking into a house full of people and in some way, shape or form you share blood. That's mad. But there was definitely an element of us, did they even want me here? Yeah. Like, they've already got their family dynamic. You get what I'm saying to you? So when people say I don't think imposter syndrome is a real thing, I have to disagree with that still.
You can feel it in
bare different things.
Yeah.
Bare different things.
But yeah, man.
This was a good pod, man.
No,
I enjoyed this one still.
No, I did still.
I feel like I educated on you on it.
Good. That's what happens when you about to say bollocks.
It's true.
Bullshit.
It humbled me.
You always need to end with nonsense, and that's what happens.
My speech humbled me, basically.
No, but it was a great pod. Like I said, we'll talk about the Kanye stuff when being released because there's so much more to the story as well. But make sure you stay locked in. We've got to stay true to what we're saying now, though. We've said it on the pod now that we're going to ask for questions on our Instagrams and on the Instagram. We're going to do that. Yeah. Next week, we are going to do that. We've got a lot in store this year as well. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. And we'll see you next time.
Wow.
Peace.